All right, man. Well, the Celtics finally won a game, and the Warriors are now down 2-1. Let's go ahead and start with the later game of the day. This is the game that I watched more of. Mostly because I was kind of expecting the Celtics to win today and have a good win today, so I didn't really need to, lock in too much to that one. In this game, let's start with the Warriors first. Jimmy Butler, great game, man. Needed him to go off for you to even have a chance to win this game, and guess what he did? He went off. Another guy that went off in this game, Jonathan Kaminga, man. After going 7 for 7 the other day, I think for 14 points, he comes out here today in 36 minutes and goes 11 of 18 for 30 points, being their second leading scorer, only 3 points behind Jimmy Butler. While he shot better from 3 for 4 to Jimmy Butler's 2 for 4, and better from the field than Jimmy Butler did. So just a great Jonathan Kaminga game. He was your entire bench production because Gary Payton wasn't giving you anything offensively. Quentin Post barely played. Moses Moody is damn near out of the rotation. Kevon Looney didn't give you much offensively, and he fouled out of the game, which we'll talk about, and everything like that. So he was really the only bench production that the Warriors had today, and that was good because that was that was really good because the Wolves bench was terrible. So like the fact that Jonathan Kaminga was the only person on the Warriors bench that went off was really, really okay because of the fact that Naz Reid didn't do much. I mean, he shot efficiently and everything like that. He just didn't put up a ton of shots. Nante DiVincenzo didn't do a damn thing, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker couldn't hit the broadside of a barn today. So that was all good, but it just wasn't good enough because, dude. Oh, and Buddy Hield, solid game. I think he was. I want to say he was way better in the second half, if I remember, but I might be misremembering and just remembering that as Anthony Edwards because I was mostly focused on his second half. But I feel like Buddy Hield had a better second half than the first half. I don't remember though. But 4 for 8 for 3 is really all you can ask for. And 5 for 11 is not great, but 4 for 8 for 3 is the whole reason that Buddy Hield is there. He did that. You needed him to do that. Good for y'all. Somebody that needs to get some hate. Draymond Green went out there today and put up 4 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 points, and 6 personal fouls. The man fouled out of the game in 29 minutes of play. The man fouled out of the game with 4 minutes left in the game. And you can blame some of that on Steve Kerr leaving him in, but it's like, what are your options? Trace Jackson-Davis, who started but can barely get minutes. Kevon Looney, who was obviously in foul trouble himself because he fouled out. Moses Moody, who's giving you nothing. Quentin Post, who's become pretty much unplayable in this series. Or you know what I'm saying? So it's just like he didn't really have too many options. And then another reason that he didn't really have too many options is because a guy that you needed to have at least a decent game tonight, and you could have won this game if he did that, is Brandon Podziemski. 1 for 10, dude. 1 for 10, 1 for 4 for 3 for 5 points. Just pitiful. Just pitiful. You've been pitiful for like the last couple of games. And I didn't watch Warriors game 1 or 2, so I don't know exactly how well he did. But like going back to Houston series, dude, he's been pretty pitiful for a while now. Just putting up a ton of shots and not hitting them at all. So just a terrible Brandon Podziemski game. And in a game where you lose by 5, you're at home with the chance to go up 2-1, and Steph Curry's not there. You need Brandon Podziemski to have a much better game here. If you get Brandon Podziemski 12 points with the rebounding that he had and everything like that, you win this game. It's phenomenal. You had a great win tonight. And I say all that to say, if Steph Curry was here, the Warriors would probably be up 3-0. Like, if Steph Curry was here, this series wouldn't be close at all. And it's just insane that Steph Curry is out and the Warriors have still played their way into having a chance in both of these games. And the reason for that was, in this game at least, because outside of a little bit of Jaden McDaniels, who had an efficient game but just didn't get up a ton of shots, and then Julius Randle, who had a very inefficient game, and Anthony Edwards, who had a decently efficient game, Minnesota's offense didn't do a damn thing. Rudy Gobert, 13 rebounds, but he had 9 points, so if you know what I'm saying, you accept that from Rudy Gobert, but it's like I said, off the bench, Dante DiVincenzo's giving you nothing. Nickeil Alexander-Walker's giving you nothing. Naz Reid is the only one giving you anything off the bench, and it's like Mike Conley's not giving you much at all offensively. Rudy Gobert can only give you so much offensively in his minutes, and then Jaden McDaniels, while he did have a good efficiency night, he wasn't very aggressive with trying to score the ball and everything like that. So, like, if you're the Warriors and you see this game where Julius Randle's 10 of 23, 1 of 6 from 3, even though he had a triple-double and played well, he's not scoring the ball to the best of his abilities, and Ant couldn't hit a 3 in the first half, you look at this game and you're just like, man, we really needed to win this game. We would have had all momentum going into game 4 at home, could have potentially went up 3-1, or you could have just gave yourself more confidence that you're continuing to extend the series long enough for Steph Curry to maybe come back. And instead you go out here, and that's a tough loss tonight because you look at this and you're like, you can't ask Jimmy to play too much better. You're never going to get a better Jonathan Kuminga game for the rest of the playoffs or maybe for the rest of his career than you got tonight. Buddy Hield's he didn't go off, but he had an efficient three-point shooting night. So it's just like, you look back at this and you think to yourself, man, if Brandon Podziemski plays a little better offensively, or if Moses Moody doesn't become unplayable, or if Draymond Green and Kevon Looney don't both foul out, like you just look at this and you think back, damn, we had an opportunity to win this, and by losing this game, you might have just lost the series. So that's a tough one for the Warriors. And then we go on to the Celtics. Jason Tatum finally had a good game. I think he finished with like 22, 26 something, 7 and 9 or something like that. He didn't shoot a great efficiency. I think he was like 9 for 20. Let me just go look so I'm not just guessing. But definitely his best game of the series. Yeah, he was 8 for 20, but 5 for 9 for 3 for 22.7 assists, 9 boards. Solid game. You can't be mad at that. It's his best game of the series. So like compared to the other stuff he's been putting up, this looks like a masterful performance. Was his best passing game, which people have been recently, since the series started, criticizing, hey, do the Celtics need a true point guard because Drew Holiday is not really that anymore. And then you go out here and you have your best playmaking game of the series, maybe even of the playoffs in this game. So that's a good game from Jason Tatum. Al Horford, monster game. 39 years old, and people have been saying, man, we want to see less of him. It's like we understand that Porzingis has whatever issue Porzingis has that is keeping him from being anywhere near good at basketball / keeping him from playing a lot of times. But it's just like people have been saying, dude, we got to see less of old man Al Horford in this series. Like we got to see somebody else come in the game for him. But in this game, he played his ass off, bro. He did not want to go down 3-0. 6 of 9, 3 of 4 from 3, 15 points, 9 boards. Phenomenal game from him. Drew Holiday, solid game, solid, efficient game. Did a good job on Jalen Brunson for the most part, who was 9 of 21 for 27 points. He had a solid game, like better than some other games. That other game he had the series, I think it was game 2. But, like, Hugh did a pretty good job on him for the most part. Derek White, 6 of 10, 3 of 6 for 3, 17 points. That is a very good Derek White game. That's what you need from Derek White. You want for him to be your fourth option, but you want for him to be like that third, fourth option. But when you have an Al Horford game like this, all you ask for Derek White, just an efficient night, play some good defense, and that's what he did. Jaylen Brown, good game. 7 for 18, 2 for 6 from 3, 19 points. You be having some corny quotes talking about I don't think there's a better player on the team, maybe not even in the league, at getting to the rim than me. Like, it's like there are better players in the playoffs still right now. Like Anthony Edwards and Donovan Mitchell, who are better at getting to the rim than you. I would say Jimmy Butler might be better at getting to the rim than you. We saw tonight Jonathan Kuminga might be better at getting to the rim than you. Giannis, better at getting to the rim to you. Zion, like there's so many players in the league better at getting to the rim than you. So you literally just be talking, but I love the confidence, I guess. Both the Jays had an okay start. We already talked about their stat lines, but then they really, really turned it up in the second quarter, and that was what the Celtics needed, and that was what fueled them to go on that run where they go up like 20. Peyton Pritchard, man, much needed great game for the Celtics. I mean, they won this game by 20, so by 22 points, so it's not like, you know what I'm saying, if he doesn't ball out, you think they lose this game. But 8 for 16, 5 for 10 for 3, 23 points was really their only good production off the bench, even though Luke Cornett gave them some good minutes. Just a great game from him. You needed that from your sixth man of the year in this game, especially when, you know what I'm saying, you don't have like the top end scoring that you normally have. He ends up being your leading scorer of this game, and you just have a night where you have a lot of guys get a good amount of points on good efficiency. Good game for the Celtics. They did what they needed to do. They shot 20 of 40 from 3. They did not at all lay off of that Joe Mazzulla ball type of offense, but in tonight they just had a night where they hit those threes where they go 20 for 40, and the Knicks only go 5 of 25. Like, they almost hit as many threes as the Knicks attempted. That's just insane. But we know that's what the Celtics are going to do. We know that's what the Celtics want to do. Something else I want to talk about in this game. Dude, the Celtics were fouling the hell out of the Knicks in this game. Like, Jalen Brunson getting to the line 8 times, Cat getting there 5 times, and by the way, Karl-Anthony Towns had a terrible game. The 15 rebounds is cool, the 21 points is cool. Brother, you were a minus 19, and I guess you lose by 22, so you say, well, of course he was. Okay, 5 of 18, 1 of 5 from 3. The only good thing about that is that you have a game where you're taking a lot of shots, where you're being aggressive to score. That's literally the only good thing about that, because when you're, for the first time in this series, have looked like a liability defensively, because for the other 2 games, you somehow had looked actually really good on defense and isolation. But then in this game, you don't do that, and you have a game where Mikal Bridges, while he didn't have his best game, didn't hit a 3, was still 6 of 10, played solidly. It's just that Karl-Anthony Towns and OG Anunoby both played terribly in this game, and you, against the Celtics, you cannot have a night where those guys both play terribly on the offensive side of the ball. It can't happen. And I think with this, the series is really up in the air right now, because it's like, sure, what I believe is that the winner of Game 4 wins the series. And I do believe that it's going to be the Celtics. I just think the Celtics have the momentum, and I think they're back confident. I think this one big win was enough to get them confident, especially when you look at it and you say, bro, Peyton Pritchard was our leading scorer. We still won this game by 25 or by 22. I think they feel super confident in that, because they're like, man, what are they going to do when the Jays go off for 30 each, and Jalen Brunson's having an inefficient game, or Cat's having another bad game, or Bridges is having a stinker. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that. It's just like, I think the Celtics are a lot more confident now with this win, and I think the fact that they were, even though they blew the two 20-point leads in game 1 and 2, the fact that they were able to get up 20 twice says a lot, and then the fact that they were then able to go win this game by 22 just says a lot. When you can consistently build that big of a lead on your opponent, I think that just proves that you're the better team, and even though the Celtics blew that lead twice, I just don't think that that's going to happen again. I'm not even necessarily saying that I believe they're going to get that type of lead again, but when it's happened in all 3 games, the odds are pretty high. So, yeah, man, I think the Celtics are going to win Game 4 and the series, but I think if the Knicks win Game 4, they win the series. So, yeah, the series is back open. I think the Warriors lost the series tonight, but I'm excited for some hoops tomorrow. I believe the first game on is, I don't think it's Pacers Cavs. I think it's Nuggets Thunder. Yeah, so Thunder at Nuggets is game 1, and then Cavs Pacers is game 2 tomorrow. So I'm excited for that and everything like that. Especially the Thunder, because they need a bounce back game after the way they choked away game 3, in my opinion, and the Cavs, who I think are going to tie the series tomorrow. So yeah, love y'all. I appreciate y'all. All glory to God as always, and thank you for watching, man. All right.